Okay. Hello, John. Can you hear me?
What's up, bro? Yeah, I
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I come from a strong business background and in the business world, and I've always had a love for music. So I've always tried to incorporate the two, business and marketing. So what I've been doing is trying to teach music artists education about online marketing because I feel like the way the industry is now and all the technology, everybody is self-educating themselves. You know, they're searching on Google, they're on YouTube, self-educating. So, like you said about the culture vulture, do you think that there's hope for these independent artists to kind of break away from, like the corporate, like the corporate hold that they have on us, and to kind of self-educate themselves? And pretty much, what kind of shift do you expect to see now that there's a lot of, self-education tools out there, your books, certain courses that I have on my website, et cetera, et cetera? I mean, I think there's hope. What do you think? What do you?
I'm never worried about corporate because corporate's never dictated anything that I do. They've always
Okay.
had to help me on my terms. So you can work with corporate, but you have to control the narrative. But because there's a direct consumer of the internet, there's never a reason for corporate. There's just a reason for patience. You know what I'm saying? So I think people sometimes get scared of the long-term thing because they got to pay their bills in the moment. But sometimes you have to struggle a little and pay bills late so that you can retain 100% and develop that relationship with people so that they want to consistently buy things from you. You just have to understand what that product is. You know what I mean? Like if you're taking a job, you're selling somebody else's dream. But I think the most profitable thing is not to take a job, but to invest in your own dream. But you have to identify what that dream is and then figure out how to package that and sell that. And then corporate's never even in the equation. Only reason for corporate, and you have to understand what corporate is. Corporate is usually something that's not owned by any one person. It's usually something that's public, right? So it's not something that any one person owns. So that means not one person usually gets full margin of profit. They barely would get 10%. They barely get 1%. They just get a salary. But there has to be this big business to skim from.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose of corporate. And that's the only reason why you really need to be so big, pause, and deal with so much volume to survive. Because if you know 100,000 people, or if you know 10,000 people, and each of them spend $100 with you a year, you got almost $1 million every time, or at least 100,000. Now, damn near, if you could get a director to sell something to 100,000 to 200,000 people, that's what my whole business model is built of. I don't need like you never needed corporate to sell drugs, right? We never needed corporate to sell drugs. So why would we need corporate to sell anything else?
Because they provide structure, for the music industry. A lot of people don't understand. I mean, I don't know.
Let me just tell you something. I was able to be in the cannabis business on the legal level for a couple of years because it's regulated by the government and because now it's corporate. So much harder to grow. And I would not even suggest that anybody get in business because it's so hard to actually grow something. You got to be a farmer, and it's really hard. And then if they pass that standard where there's too much microbials on it, your whole crop gets dumped, and you can't sell that shit. So the point I'm trying to tell you, it does nothing but regulate and give rules. You only need corporate for perception of volume and a consistent paycheck for something that you understand what I'm saying? So if you want to live a good life and make $1 million, 10 to 20,000 people that appeal to you and figure out what to sell them. And you never have to talk to corporate again. And my point, niggas made billions without corporate. I don't think Pablo Escobar was the most, you understand, or Al Capone. Like, look at crime. It's not corporate, it's just illegal. But look how much money motherfuckers making, how quick they make it. Corporate just slows shit down.
I agree.